Hello again. Last video seemed to work quite well, so we're going to try this a second time. There's been a great response, well over half of you managing to get a reply to that question 4 by today. And the question, just to remind you, was compare how the writers convey their different attitudes to the elephants. So you're reading those two sources and you're basically asking yourself, what do the writers think about elephants? Do they like elephants? Do they hate elephants? Do they have no interest in elephants whatsoever? That's your job. So a couple of pieces of work here just to highlight a fairly common mistake actually. These were both very good answers. This is just a little bit from each of them. And this student here has said, in source A, Orwell is called to deal with a savage elephant. Yep. It's clear from the start that Orwell is more curious about the animal rather than jumping straight in and dealing with it. Now that kind of answers the question. Orwell is curious, perhaps. I think he is more curious about the situation, but that's along the right lines. But then he says, we see this when he writes, I did not know what I could do, but I wanted to see what was happening. Now, problem is that that particular quote doesn't directly relate to what Orwell feels towards the elephants. It doesn't really tell the examiner anything about how he feels towards the elephants. It's more the situation in general. He was curious to see what was going on. And he didn't know what he could do. Which is good understanding, but it's not focused on that question. Second answer here from a student says, in source A, the writer portrays the elephant as aggressive. Very true. The use of emotive language such as beating, tearing, stuffing presents the elephant as being potentially dangerous or wild, as all of these acts imply force. All of that is very true. Good understanding, and that is a really good answer for question 3 if you were saying how the elephant was described and the effect it had on the reader. However, this is juxtaposed in the next paragraph where the elephant is described as peacefully eating, another quote, which shows the elephant as calm and peaceful. This is shown through the use of the metaphor, the elephant looked no more dangerous than a cow. This comparison shows the elephant is peaceful due to cows being typically perceived as calm. Now again, all of that is true, and that is again a really good question 3 answer. However, that doesn't tell us what the writer thinks about the elephants. That tells us how the elephants are being described. So, 2 fairly common problems here. Number 1, answering question 3 instead, and giving us detail about how it's supposed to make us feel in the individual words that do that, or not quite hitting the question itself and not describing how the writer feels about the elephants, but looking at how the writer has described the elephant. Okay, I won't be giving feedback for quite a while on the rest of you, but if you haven't submitted something yet, take that into account. And if you would like to try doing this again and making your answer better, please feel free. I will be posting another video along with this when you'll get it in the same email, giving you a new assignment. But if you haven't done this yet, take that into account. If you have done this and you want to do it again because you think, I did that and I made that mistake, then feel free to. Okay. Hope you're all enjoying the semi-break, staying healthy, doing some exercise, of course, washing your hands and staying indoors. Thank you.